Hello and namaskar to everyone. Hope that you all are safe and doing well. Dear friends, with an aim to keep the children engaged with the constructive indulgences during this unprecedented challenging time and to encourage them to showcase their interests, skills, talent and abilities, we, the SSPS, have undertaken an online initiative, and that's none other than hashtag Shivsha the Lockdown Chronicles. Today, dear friends, we are going to have a panel discussion with 5 brilliant minds from class 10th. Dear friends, you know very well that with the spread of coronavirus or the COVID-19, which has become a pandemic, we have also faced the aggression by the Chinese government at the Indo-China border, where we found our 20 braveheart soldiers sacrifice their life. So dear friends, after this, we could see a huge rise of anti-China sentiments throughout the globe and mostly in India. So with an emergence of this new voice that has been coming through and the protest against China, that is boycott China and punish China or boycott Chinese products, we are going to have this panel discussion on the same topic, that is boycott China, tame the dragon. So dear friends, without wasting any more time further, let us welcome the 5 brilliant minds from class 10 that we have. So let me welcome Miss Sania Katkar, Miss Neha Wagmare, Miss Anjali Wagmare, Miss Ashra Sheikh and Master Dhananjay Gilda. A hearty welcome to all of you guys. I'm told by the principal that all of you are brilliant orators and speakers. So I'm sure today that we are going to have a great quality discussion, and we are going to check out your wisdom and eloquence as well. So without wasting any time, let us begin with the panel discussion. So here comes the first question for our first participant in the panel, Miss Sania Katkar. Miss Sania, I would like to ask you, what is your view about the origin of COVID-19? And also tell us that if it is China, then should China be held accountable for the spread of the COVID-19 as a pandemic? Over to you, Sania.
Yes, sir. Coronavirus has been and is being the deadliest pandemic ever. And as it is still a question that how did it come? When did it come? Only one thing is clear, and that is China is the origin. As the other things are yet to be cleared, the question comes, can China be considered accountable for the outbreak of COVID-19? So my answer for this would be yes. China should be considered accountable as they got a bit late to inform WHO after knowing the fact that a new pneumonia has come through. This is why is the reason behind the definition of coronavirus defined by American president as Chinese virus. My question is, was China that late to inform? Actually, no. China was not that late. What I think is, after this, what the countries like Taiwan did was remarkable. They directly started thermal screening all over the airport and started checking the things on the airport. As Taiwan is very close to China, they could have got the most affected. But the thing is totally different. Right now, the cases in India are growing. But if we look at the population and its density in India, we understand that India has won something. So sir, what I think is the countries like US should have reacted to the situation a bit earlier and a bit faster, so the countries like India and Taiwan did.
Brilliantly answered, Miss Sania Katkar. Thank you so much for your answer regarding whether the China should be held accountable for the spread of COVID-19 as a pandemic. And that's the true thing that you said, that the Taiwan started to take early precautionary measures. They started taking the thermal scannings of the passengers as well, and those things should have been informed to the other parts of the world at the earliest to stop this pandemic. But there seems to be a different intentions of China behind this overall. So let us move towards the next panel member that we have, Miss Sneha Wagmare. Sneha, we have a question for you. Some say that China has deliberately allowed the virus leaked from the research labs in Wuhan, as it was a part of their biological warfare strategy. Could you tell us your views on this issue?
Sir, to be honest with you, right now it is really very difficult to justify it. But what my research says is as follows. China has been always worried about its economy. China always tried to improve its economy by various means. Fair or unfair doesn't matter, it just needs profit. So is this the way of China's journey? I mean spreading coronavirus? China can go at any level and can do anything to do so. It may be that China wanted other countries to get in the trap of corona and they start their business, or killing their poor so that their per capita income see a rise. China asked UN to permit to kill 20,000 corona infected patients, but UN didn't permit. What do you think? China hasn't done anything? I don't think so. Sending off PPE kits which are actually not of quality, recovering of China from COVID-19, and then around 1,000 deaths due to corona in a single day itself. What does this mean? China is hiding something. Something in the sense something bigger. China don't need the lives of the people. What they need is just money. And also, I think that China is hiding the number of their corona cases and their deaths. I'll give you two proofs. One is that according to the survey done during the span of February to April 2020, 1.5 crore of China's SIM card users weren't found active. What does this mean? Okay, let's go a bit statistical. One mobile phone has 2 SIM cards. Then around 70 lakhs of SIM card users weren't found active. This is unrealistic. But what happened, it's still a mystery. And also, China must have allowed this virus to spread from the research lab of Wuhan.
Thank you so much, Sneha Wagmar. It was very well updated. So, you mean to say that the China is doing something else to increase their economy and degrade the economy of the different nations? There has also been certain blames. There could be some reasons behind it, and soon we are expecting these things to get revelation in front of the whole nation who is suffering from the COVID-19, which has been spread by the China itself. Now, next question is coming for Miss Anjali Wagmar. Miss Anjali, just there's a question for you. Historically, China has always practiced a colonial approach with its aggression and the expansion policy it has. Although these things are illegal nowadays, but still China is practicing these things by one way or the other. So would you like to throw some light on this aspect, especially in relation to the India, which is currently a hot topic which is trending everywhere in the world? So what are your views on this, Anjali?
China has strengthened its territories a lot to make its economy more stronger. Right now, to see, half of the China's area is conquered by unfair means. And China has been a revengeful enemy of India and therefore always helped Pakistan, India's biggest rival. If we talk about past, in 1962, the Great Himalaya border was the reason for Sino-Indian War. Actually, China and India had and are still having conflicts over two issues, mainly the status of Tibet and border sharings. China independently considers Arunachal Pradesh or its side chain as a Chinese territory. Actually, it started in 1959 when India granted asylum to Dalai Lama. The fight of 1962 was really one of the worst for India. It resulted in loss of India. India lost and China won. But now China should understand that India has completely changed and is not the old India of 1962. And this time we'll come up with our force and we'll show the China whom we are. Yes, sir, this is what I think.
Thank you so much, Miss Anjali Wagmare, for this well-articulated answer. It's a realistic thing that we could see that the China is helping our oldest rival that we have, that is Pakistan, by providing different armory and different monetary funds as well. Equally, if you would check out the history of China, that the China is having the border disputes with not only India but with the 18 different nations around it. So the nations, let me check out. Let me just read out the names of those nations to you. So China is having the land disputes with Japan, Vietnam, India, Nepal, North Korea, the Philippines, Russia, Singapore, South Korea, Bhutan, Taiwan, Laos, Brunei, Tajikistan, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia and Mongolia. How could a single nation may have so many land or the border disputes with the different nations. This is a part of a question which needs a deep analysis and which will soon be revealed what is the secret behind this. So thank you so much, Miss Anjali Wagmare. Next question is coming up for the fourth panelist that we have in the studio, Miss Ashra Sheikh. So Miss Ashra, these two issues are arising, that China has an irresponsible behavior with regard to the COVID pandemic and its aggression and the bullying nature towards the different nations around it. It has given the rise to the anti-China sentiments across the world and including India basically. So how do you punish China for its behavior? Please put a light on this topic. Over to you, Ashra.
China has been so very irresponsible, but when it comes to showing aggression, China becomes the header. China is very bad at having relations with other countries. China will only try to put a relative matter with other countries which can provide them power by economic means. China will help only those countries which are in need and cannot pay back. And when this happens, China owns the country. There is a country in Africa named Djibouti, which is owned by China, and now it is targeting US from there. All the cases shows the aggressive approach of China. And now it is hiding the fact that Corona for so very long time have created anti-China sentiments all over the world. Recently, 59 Chinese apps are banned in India, and even US is on its way to take such kind of an action. People have got a slogan, boycott China, in their minds. But right now, 8 out of 10 things in your room are Chinese. But I hope one day, slowly and gradually, we will throw China out of our system.
Thank you, Lord, Ms. Ashra Sheikh, for the answer regarding the question. It's absolutely right that we are trying to throw the China out of the Indian market, since it has occupied the larger area of the Indian market in terms of electronics and the software industry. Recently, 59 major apps of China, made in China, have been banned by Indian government, the Union Government of India. And amongst those was the TikTok, which was widely used by the youngsters of India, and that has been banned, which was creating a larger amount of revenue for the Chinese government. Thank you so much, Ashra Sheikh, for these answers. The last question is coming up for our last panelist in the list. That is Master Dhananjay Gilda. So Master Dhananjay, here's a question for you. Ever since the Galwan Valley incident happened, where we lost our 20 braveheart Indian Army soldiers, the Indian mass has raised its voice with the slogan boycott China and boycott Chinese products. So recently, the Union Government of India, as you know, that it has banned 59 Chinese apps so far. So do you think this is enough to teach China a lesson, or do we need to take a really harsh step against it?
Sir, we have been hearing that we have to boycott Chinese products and we should boycott Chinese products. But to talk about the reality, we cannot do it within a year. It will take time. And to be honest with you, it will take 5 or 10 years to do so. And we are taking a step, we have taken a step by boycotting 59 Chinese apps from Indian system along with TikTok and Hello. But friends, if you see the fact, China is all over. If you check around, you'll notice that China has got its investments in each and every field, starting from Ola cabs that we use for taxis, and having online food from Zomato and all, and having online shopping. China is everywhere. From the toys to mobile phones, China has got its power in each and every field. And then the main thing is that around 80% of the pharmaceutical raw materials that we need are actually bought from China. So this is a huge number, and India should recover this. So sir, if we ban Chinese products completely now itself, so it would be a hazardous thing for the Indian health system. And one more issue, sir. To reduce pollution and to use solar energy, we are trying to take a step towards solar panels. But here also we are facing a problem called Chinese imports, because not many solar plates are actually imported from China to India. As we as SSVs, we are also going to talk about the solution. The solution to this would be that we start developing our raw materials and our products. It will take time. And well, boycott Chinese products is good. But what if we use Indian? If we use Indian, it will take a less time to boycott China, and also it will be a major part for the Indian economics development.
Thank you so much, Master Dhananjay, for your well-researched answer that you have given. It's absolutely true that we will throw the China out of our Indian markets. It could be from the electronics or it could be from the software industry, but soon we will do this. And for that, we would need 5 to 10 years to reach to that level. As you said, that's the correct answer, that we need to start building up our raw materials for ourselves. Instead of exporting a huge amount of a huge quantity of the raw materials outside our nation, we need to use that for our own sake. The second thing, as you said, that the Chinese government or the China is having the investment in different Indian functions in different areas that we do have. So let me read out the names for you guys. It's the Paytm, Hike, Ola, Make My Trip, Flipkart, Snapdeal, Oppo, Xiaomi, FirstCry.com, Big Basket, Swiggy, Zomato, and many more names are coming up where the China has actually funded a lot of money for getting a higher revenue. And this is since India is the largest market in the whole world for what these different nations are coming in India and doing all this stuff. So thank you so much all the panelists today from the class 10. Thank you so much Miss Sania Katkar, Miss Neha Wagmare, Miss Anjali Wagmare, Miss Ashra Sheikh, and at last Master Dhananjay Gila. Thank you so much for your well-versed answers. Thank you so much for the research that you have done. We, the Modern India, believes in you, the Centennials, who will take India to the next level and make it self-reliant and self-dependent nation. So once again, thank you so much. Dear friends and parents, if you like our video, please do like, subscribe, and share this video and keep us motivating. Thank you so much.